Here's the uncomfortable truth. People buy from humans, not scripts. And every time you sound robotic, rehearsed, or fake, you're killing the deal before it even starts. Now, in the next few minutes, I'm going to expose the authenticity principle. This secret allowed me to go from a rookie closer to earning over $100,000 per month by simply being real. Disclaimer, this isn't about being nicer or more personable. This is about a fundamental shift that will transform not just your sales results, but your entire relationship with selling. First, think about this. Have you ever been in the middle of a sales call, reading from your script, or asking a question that you rely on when you don't know where to go next? Guess what? You sound exactly like every other salesperson your prospect has ever talked to. How about when you're delivering your pain sequence and you can literally feel the prospect checking out because they know you're performing, not connecting? Here's what's happening. The sales industry has turned closers into actors, bad actors. You memorize lines, you practice tonality, you deliver objection handlers like you're reading Shakespeare, and prospects hate it because they've figured out the game and aren't interested in playing it. Think about your own life. When was the last time you bought something expensive from someone who sounded scripted and robotic? In contrast, do you remember a time when you bought from someone who felt real, genuine, and authentic? Probably recently. And if not, maybe today, when you finally step up and join the Unicorn Closer Mastermind. Wink, wink. I'll tell you about the moment I discovered this principle on a sales call with a business owner named David. I was going through my script perfectly. Pain question? Check. Future pacing? Check. Objection handling? Check. And David stopped me mid-sentence and said, "Look, I can tell you're reading from something. Can we just have a real conversation?" Now that question changed my life because in that moment, I realized I wasn't selling, I was performing. And nobody buys from performers. They buy from people. So what does authenticity actually mean in sales? Because I'm not talking about being yourself or just be natural. That's fluffy advice that doesn't give clear directives. Authenticity in sales means showing up as a self-actualized human being who genuinely cares about solving problems, not just making commissions. Now, there are 3 core components. Component number 1, genuine curiosity. Instead of asking scripted discovery questions to uncover pain, you're actually curious about their world. Instead of only being focused on extracting information, you instead display genuine interest. Component number 2, real empathy. Scripts teach you to say things like, "I understand how frustrating that must be," but authentic empathy is actually feeling something when they share their struggles. I had a prospect tell me about losing 3 major clients in 1 month. My script would have said, "That sounds really challenging. Let's talk about how we can prevent that in the future." Instead, I said, "Man, that must have been devastating. How are you holding up?" That moment of real human connection changed everything. Component number 3, honest communication. This is the big one. Authentic salespeople tell the damn truth, even when it's uncomfortable. Sometimes that means saying, "I don't think we're a good fit." Here's what's counterintuitive. The more honest you are, the more people trust you. And trust is what closes deals, not manipulation. Let me show you what happens when you make this shift from scripted to authentic. Imagine this scenario. Prospect says, "I need to think about it." Scripted response, "I totally understand, John. Most of our best clients said the same thing initially. But let me ask you this. What specifically do you need to think about? Is it the investment, the timing, or the solution itself?" This sounds rehearsed and manipulative. Like you've heard this objection 1,000 times and you're just running your program. Instead, how about an authentic response? Help me understand. When you say you need to think about it, what's really going through your mind right now? Then you actually listen. You don't jump to your next objection handler. You're genuinely curious about what's happening in their head. This authenticity opens up a completely different conversation, and in turn makes it much more likely that you close the sale. The scripted version tries to overcome the objection. The authentic version explores the truth behind it. Here's why authenticity works so powerfully in sales. It all comes down to trust. Scripts actually hurt your credibility because they make you sound like everyone else. When you speak authentically, you sound like an expert, not a robot. When you're authentic, prospects know what they're getting. There are no surprises, no bait and switch, no hidden agendas. When you're real with them, they feel safe being real with you. That's when the real conversation starts. Scripts are all about you, your commission, your quota, your process. Authenticity is about them, their problem, their goals, their success. When you lower your self-orientation and increase the other three factors, trust skyrockets exponentially. So how do you actually implement authenticity in your sales process? Here's my 3-step process. Step 1, the presence practice. Before every call, take 30 seconds to center yourself. Ask, how can I serve this prospect today? Not how can I close this person? This simple shift changes your entire energy, which is why inside the Unicorn Closer Mastermind, one of the first things I teach my clients is the patented pre-call checklist. Link in the description for more details. Step 2, the curiosity commitment. Commit to being genuinely curious about their world. Ask follow-up questions, not because your script tells you to, but because you actually want to understand. When you come from this energy space, the questions naturally flow, allowing you to get to the truth at hand much more quickly. Because you're being authentic, the likelihood the prospect will tell you exactly what is going on is significantly heightened. Step 3, human moments. Look for opportunities to connect human to human, not salesperson to prospect. These moments of genuine human connection are what separates good closers from great ones. Now, this doesn't mean you're there to be their best friend or have a buddy-buddy sales call, but it does mean that you aren't treating them like just another name on the call sheet. Here's the bottom line. You have a choice. You can keep reading scripts, sounding like every other salesperson, and wondering why your close rate sucks. Or you can embrace authenticity and join the ranks of unicorn closers who make real money by being real people. I challenge you to try this on your very next call. Throw away your script, show up as a human being, be genuinely curious, be radically honest, look for moments of real connection. You'll feel the difference immediately. Your prospects will respond differently, your conversations will be deeper, your close rate will improve. Because here's the secret the sales industry doesn't want you to know. People don't buy products or services. They buy relationships with people they trust. And you can't build trust with a script.